Hello, my name is Robert Miller, and this is the principles video for session 4 of my conflict. I didn't always approach conflicted scripts this way. For a lot of my life, my solution to I can't keep going was force, coercion. I would push myself until I collapsed. I would not accept weakness. I would not accept excuses. Uh, in part, in my childhood, that was a recipe for disaster. If you didn't show the cold face, if you weren't tough all the time, you were at serious risk of not being able to continue. At the beginning of all of my work, you hear the first thing to know about me is I didn't die. It created within me a capacity to sit with you in discomfort and to create collision and chaos that would allow you to do formation work. And it's useful for me as a 55-year-old to be able to sit with you in that discomfort. But I'm deliberately casual in these videos. I'm deliberately didn't get my hair cut, and I'm going to get my hair cut on Friday, so that my hair is kind of wild and relaxed. You don't need a drill sergeant. You need someone who has learned the capacity and value of gentleness. The scripts that have conflict at the heart of the distortion. People like us tend to have a really good handle on self-control, on tenacity, of forcing ourselves to do the uncomfortable. That's not this. You would have been horrified if I had beaten my kid and forced him and dragged him kicking and screaming to get around the corner. Just so you know, I grew up in a world where adults did that. That would have been the response if I had sat down and quit. Some adult would have beaten me onto my feet again. And for the longest time as an adult, that's how I treated myself. And I didn't realize it affected everybody else, because while I was a pacifist and would literally hit you, I had no trouble forcing you to move through influence and convincing you to move through force. Not that I would hurt you, but that you would demand more of yourself. And people thought it was a great thing that I could give you that capacity to demand more of yourself. But then I discovered these scripts in therapy that, wow, and I haven't got formal education. And then only later did I read the books about it, like Immunity to Change by Keegan. I thought, oh my Lord, these are real. And observation taught me this. And I was like, oh, wow, my approach has been really drill sergeant. And then when it's not a script that's distorted, self-control and tenacity are phenomenal tools, and I use them still. I use them more gently, but I still use them. And I can force myself with self-control and tenacity to achieve some really difficult things. But this, confidence, I have enough, Jehovah Jireh, the Lord will provide. That's actually how I calm this thing down, make room for it more gently, and allow it to move forward one day at a time, just now. My life has been difficult. I learned a lot of lessons by living and surviving. One of them is to be gentle. Thank you very much.